Hello, welcome to this explanation of Tic-Tac-Toe game project, which is implemented in Java. In this project, there are mainly three different types of classes. First class is board class, second class is player class, and the final class is game class. In this complete explanation, we can let's see about the code structure, functionality, and then the each class explanation and its roles in the project. At first, look into the board class. This class represents the tic-tac-toe game board, which consists of 3 into 3 grid. The board is stored as a single dimensional array, and each cell is and it contains totally 9 elements, and each element is stored with a hyphen symbol, which initially indicating the empty cells. Let's see how it works. First of all, let's see. There is a constructor called board, which is used to initialize the board with an empty cells. And then we can see the next method is called as a print board method, which is used to display the current board status in the display. And the second method is valid move method, which method is used to check whether the move is valid or not. For that, it can check the positions in between the range of 0 and 8, and it is also check the whether the position is empty or not also. And then next class is move, make a move class, which is used to update the board with any player symbols like x and 0. And then there is a final class, which is final method, which is a check game over, which can use it to track if the game is end or not, by using the winning combination.
Now let's move on the player class. This class is responsible for managing each player symbol and their move during the game. So this is a constructor. It assigns a symbol either X or O to the player. It is a get symbol method. It returns the symbol when needed, such as displaying the board or announcing a winner. So this is a choose position method. It prompts the player to select the position on the board, and it keeps asking the player for a valid input until they choose an empty position. So if it is invalid, it displays invalid position.
Next, we have the game class, which is the heart of the tic-tac-toe game. It manages the overall game flow and handles the player interactions. Here's how it works. The constructor initializes the game with a new board and two players, X player and O player. The game always starts with the X player. The start method begins with the game loop, printing the initial empty board and prompting players to make their moves. Inside the loop, the current player selects the position using a choose position method. After each move, the board is updated and the new game state is displayed. Mm, there is a check game over method is called to see if the game is ended or not. If a player wins, it announces the winner. If there's a tie, it announces that as well. After each valid move, the switch player method changes the turn from one player to another player. Where there are in our game there are two players now, so the switch player method will changes from one player to another player after each player plays their chance. Mm, this ensures that each player gets a.
Finally, we have the TikTok toy class, which contains the main method to start the game. It creates an instance of the game class and calls the start method to the begin game. This is the entry point of the game.
To run the game, we can simply execute the tic-tac-toe class. So for that there is a command called java c. Then here is the representation of our the board class. Then there is a player called x. Then we can give the prompt. For example, let's I take a position called 4. Place the x at the position 4, and then it's time to turn out the player o. I'll choose a position 5. Then the board is filled with 0 at the position 5, and then it turns to the x class. I'll select the position called 2. It can place the position x at the position 2. In this way, the game is executed